Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Office Hours. We haven't got anything in the chat just yet, so we'll wait a bit.
Let's wait a bit. How are you doing, Matthew?
I'm good, thank you, Flo. How are you?
Doing good too.
Fantastic. I can see you're in our new office.
Yes, I am.
Hi, Elena. A very rookie question. Those are the best questions.
Yes.
Hey, Pralette. Hey, Mauro. I shall put the invite link in the chat. If anyone has a question they would like to ask on the stream, feel free to join. So Elena has a question related to plans. What plan do we need to have full control over backing up projects and to restore them? So to have full control over backing up projects and restore them, it depends exactly what you mean, Helena. So backing up the editor, or because there is, if you're on the first plan, remind me of the names of the plans, Flo. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Let me check so I don't say any. So we have the starter plan, the scale plan. So let me just verify this. In any case, if you have any question regarding pricing, you can just jump into the chat with the support team. You would have better answers than into those office hours.
Yeah, so it depends, Elena, because there's different types of backup. So you can back up. There's automatic backup whenever you publish, and you can do manual backups.
With the start plan, you have an automatic backup, I think, per day. And if you want to have a backup every hour, you need to subscribe to the scale plan.
Yep.
And if you wish, also what you can do while working, you can commit your work. So if you check the blue button on the top right, you've got deploy button, but you can also commit. And when you do a commit, you should be able to roll back your editor at that state at one point. So if you need to feel safe while working, commit on a regular basis, and you will be able to roll back.
I'm sure you have it, but I'll put the pricing link in chat for you, Elena. And Pralette is with us. Happy Tuesday, Pralette. Always good to see you.
Happy Tuesday. I have a general question. So I ventured into world of creating my own custom component. And I was getting this weird error when I initially initialize it. Let me share my screen. I'll just share the window so we can switch between them. I think it's this one. Let me know when you can see it.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay.
So I get this when I initially do add the component in dev, but I have now the component also in the working version, and in the working version, I don't get that. So I was wondering if it's something I have to worry about at all or not really.
Just for me to understand, so you're coding the component yourself, right? You're not doing it with Copilot.
Correct, because Copilot gave up on me.
Oh, really?
I ran into the limit of how many times I can ask it.
You should have told
And
me. I can give you more tokens.
that was on Sunday. I'm not gonna tell you on Sunday, but yeah. Plus, I found okay with the Copilot. By the way, I don't think you still sent me the link. The what was it? Discord.
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach out to me on Discord, and I can give you more tokens.
I don't have access to it. I don't think you have sent it to me yet.
While you're talking, I can get up the link now, I think, and put it in the chat.
Okay. But yeah, so I was still having the same problem with Copilot where I ask it to do something and it will just not do it at all. And I was trying to import this chart.js geo library and create a component out of it so it updates correctly. And it would not, it was getting all these errors and kept just trying to regenerate it. So I end up just going and kind of watching the video that you guys had around how to create custom components and set up my environment to be able to do that. And I kind of went though and copied a lot of the code that the Copilot generated, because it had done a lot more than I did with my basic stuff, like a bunch of update functions and all that. So I just brought them in and then I modified them to the point that they worked. But that error happens when I am in the dev and I was putting the thing on there. Well, now that didn't happen.
I really like those reverse demo effects.
The reverse demo effect?
Yes, usually it doesn't work when you want to show something that it should work.
Yeah.
In your case, it shouldn't work. It works, so I like it.
Well, but I was getting, but yeah, for me it was just, is it something I really need to worry about? Maybe it happens on the first time it's included. No, it was happening for me every time, or every time it got refreshed. Well, so I wasn't sure if I have to care about it because I don't really see that error when I put it. Yeah. So when it refreshed, now I get this. Do I care to worry about it? Because it is referring to the local component.
Yeah, this is why. Yeah, I don't think that's a big deal. When you are working locally like this, all the errors like this are displayed on the screen, but I don't think it's a big deal. You can test. You can publish your component on GitHub and load it into a project in the editor with like this, and check if you still have the error.
Yeah, okay, I didn't have them. That's why I was wondering if it's something I really need to worry about. Sounds like I don't have to worry about that if it actually works in my project. The other thing related to this is just to confirm, so each component has to be in its own repository?
Yes, for now, but we might change this later.
Oh, it's okay. I initially had done it the other way and then it didn't work. It failed. And when I put it in its own, it works. Yeah. So now it's working. So
perfect. Good. I like that.
And by the way, Paulette, the issue you had last week with saving the variables, did you manage to resolve that? Because we had a look at it on our side and we couldn't actually recreate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I think people reply to me in chat, and what I end up doing for that problem, and I posted in my community post in case people wanted to figure it out on their own. What I end up doing is I created a separate workflow And from my JavaScript, I am actually executing the workflow instead of trying to update the variable.
Okay.
This one, I forgot what it was called already. But that's what I basically end up using the same function that you guys usually use. Oh yeah, this one, mark complete. So I created a one that specifically updates the variable path. So it goes through the WeWeb functions instead of me updating the variable. I think that support had suggested that I use some dub lib function, but I couldn't figure out how to use that lib function with a partial update of an object. So I just said like, well, then I can probably just execute a workflow, and that workflow can go your route, like normal, basically no code route, and update it. And this worked.
Cool.
So I think it was the problem of I was just updating the variable instead of updating the variable through your libraries. So then I think it just was updating the version that's in the app, not on local storage, because it probably cannot figure out on its own that it needs to save it to local storage.
Okay. That's still
Did that make
surprising
sense?
because I tried on my own just to update the variable and it worked. So I don't know why it did not for you.
Did you update it though through your guys' library? Because I think that I was updating it with I was updating it through just JavaScript.
Okay. No, okay. I updated the variable with the change variable action on my side. So maybe that's because of this.
Yes, I think that's why, because I think I had posted, so that's what
Yeah,
I
I
end
got
up
it.
doing.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
had,
Yes.
no, I don't have a screenshot of the picture here. I think I
Okay.
sent
Yeah.
it before.
That might be because of this. Yes, indeed, if you update the variable in JavaScript, it won't work entirely because it does not trigger everything. So you really need to use the action change variable value, or do like you said with this execute workflow thing.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Okay, got it.
Can go to the next question.
Cool. Cheers, Philip.
Thank you.
Right, the next question is from Giovanni. New updates that are coming are impressive. Could you tell us a little more about what will be possible to edit and view from Supabase inside the editor? I'll let you take that one, Flo. I know you're
Yeah, I'll take that one. Okay, maybe I can tease a bit. So let's go through all the questions and then I'll show you.
Okay, fantastic. Next up from Helena. How can we be part of the beta testing? I saw a sneak peek of the new Copilot and would love to play with it. So there is a link to actually sign up for the waitlist, Elena. I'll put, if you have a way to contact us directly, either on Twitter or actually you won't have a link to the Discord, unfortunately, but if you could contact either me or Flo on Twitter in some way, or give us an email we can contact you on, we can give you access directly.
All right, you are shy today.
Indeed. If you have any more on your list, Pralat, you're more than welcome to. We can work the way through the shopping list.
All right, I think I'm going to share my screen.
Cool. just quickly before you do, Flo, James has asked a question in chat. I think he's been told that it's no longer possible to be part of the Copilot beta. I'm not sure what the latest on that is.
No. You can absolutely. Now we can really onboard almost everyone now. So if you don't have access, just reach out to us and give us your email and project where you want to play with it, and we will give you an access to it.
Amazing.
So, okay, let me share my screen then.
Okay.
All right. So, can you see the editor? Maybe I can zoom in a bit.
Yes.
All right. So to answer your question, Giovanni, so basically you're going to have a new link here. It's going to be called backend, I think. And the idea is to improve our plugins. Like we are going to start with Superbase, but we really want to do the same with Xano and maybe more later on. But right now, basically with this, you're going to be able to have a new agent in the chat here. And basically in that chat, you're going to be able to ask for things, and you can here just ask for create a backend service to fetch the data. And basically I had this artifact where if you know SQL code, so with that code, then you can click deploy to run the code. So to create basically tables, SQL functions, and policies basically in here. So for example, in here, if I go to stock table, I can see what's inside. I can see the policies linked to this. And then I can directly create a collection based on this table to save time. And in here, also, I had to connect an API. So the nice thing is that AI can tell you where to get those API key. You can just paste there, click submit, and then you have access to all your secrets basically in here. So for example, in here, I wanted an access to Alpha Vantage to display some market stock in here. And then an edge function, so basically to kind of create your endpoints. And in here, I've got fetch stocks, and you can see the method in here. So this UI is still a work in progress, but the idea is to display some inputs, what you have to set in, the security, so who can access this edge function, so everyone, or some road access. You can see the code in here if you like, and then what it returns. And basically you can then create a workflow based on that. So you can try, and you can directly test your edge functions. And in here you can see that I can get the stocks immediately from Superbase edge functions. So we're working on this. We're putting all those things together. So basically also you should have workflow generation with AI, formula generation, UI generations that you already access to with Copilot. And right now we are merging everything to in that chat, so you can basically have access to all of this. And we want to start as soon as possible to put that into your hands and see what you will be able to build. But yeah, the idea is to really bring to you a full stack experience when you build. So yeah, this
Very
is coming.
cool. This is the first time I'm even seeing the function editor. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah, this is really an early teaser.
Yeah.
This is really new.
So just for context for everyone, I'm primarily a Xano user, and I first time diving deep into Superbase with the work we're doing around it, and just having these UIs opens up so many capabilities for someone who isn't very familiar with Superbase that, yeah, it's amazing to see this stuff. No, so Prolette has asked, will it be available for Xano as well? Not right now, unfortunately.
So well, not right now. We are talking to them, and basically we are waiting for Xano scripts. So I know they are working on it. They are putting a lot of efforts to release this, and once it's done, of course we are going to to create a dedicated Xeno agent to help you also setting things up on Xeno side, and we are going to work with them to make it happen for sure.
And just for context, Flo, Prolette had a question, not in the public chat, but just internally. For the current Copilot, what is the actual, does it reset, or do we have to manually reset it for now? If someone hits a hard limit?
No, you need to send me a direct message for now.
Okay.
So reach out to me on Discord, and I will just upgrade your workspace so you can make more AI queries. So we have to put a limit because in other case we could have malicious people that could do bad things, and it happens. So that's why we have to set up those limits, and then you need to ask for getting more.
Cool.
All right. Is that it for today?
Don't know.
Another question? You don't need any help for building something?
Prolette has another question. When will the edit code be available? I assume she means for the coded components generated.
Coded components, yeah. I need to ask to text him, but I hope we could do this soon. But right now I can't tell you. But this is something that is going to come in the coming weeks.
Cool. And then Elena asked, could you send us a link to join the Discord? I'm not sure if it's possible to generate just a public one, Flo, that you can put in the chat, or it has to be done individually.
I think I can. Let me check. Let me send it to you. Right. This one. Okay.
And then for your question, Giovanni, around the method, would you mind just clarifying referring to? I'm not 100% certain. And I will put this Discord link in the chat for everyone.
You can go to this Discord, and if you need an access, reach out to me, and I'll give you one.
And then Prolette had another question. Another one, any idea if auto log off for Xano is on the table to be done? Auto log off.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Prolette. I don't know what it is.
I think she means around automatic detection if the access token's expired, but I'm not sure what that would look like on our side. She says global handling on 401 errors. There was a suggestion that I need to do, but something more elegant would be nice.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think this is maybe something we should add as a trigger on upload or something like this, just to be able to listen to those errors so you can manage them globally. Otherwise, I don't have any HA regarding this right now. Yeah, you do need to check yourself with a get me or something like this, and then manage the workflow yourself.
Mm-hmm. And then just looping back, Giovanni had a question, but I wasn't too sure exactly what he was referring to. You might know better. He asked which method is correct, because one has been discontinued. I think before we were on Copilot, or maybe the coded components. I'm not sure exactly what he was referring to. I've asked him to clarify. And then, yeah, Prolet's just said there was a suggestion around handling 401 errors on the community forum, and it was to use custom JS. So I guess is that the stance for now, Flo? Do you know around handling it?
No, I don't know that one, but yeah, that should be possible to do it with custom JS to listen to those errors. But right now, I don't know how to do it. I would need to ask the tech team to be sure that I would not push you some JavaScript that would not work in the coming days. But yeah, I can ask around. Okay. Any other
Anything
question?
else?
Yeah.
That's another question. Can you talk a bit about the best way to develop responsive mobile and desktop? So
Okay.
I have stance on this, Flow, but I'd be curious to see what your stance is in terms of best practices.
So basically, in the web editor, it's desktop first approach. So you set things up on desktop, and then when your page is ready, just go to tablet, update everything, go to mobile, update everything. So in that order, because every changes you're making for tablet will be also applied to mobile. So you need to follow this rule. So desktop first, and then you go smaller and smaller. And when you make a change to any property, you would see on the sidebar, you're going to have a green bubble. So telling you that this property has different values on each breakpoint. So this is a good way when you select something to see if it behaves differently on other breakpoints. So this is how you can do it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've found myself many times adjusting something on mobile, and then because that then applies, it doesn't directly apply to desktop, you might switch back to desktop and realize you have to do a lot of things again. So even if you're building it for mobile, a lot of the times it actually makes sense to do it for desktop, and then just flip back to mobile and make small adjustments that you need, as opposed to doing it entirely in the mobile view, because the changes won't fully reflect in desktop. James has a question. I have two tables, attractions and weather updates in Xano. It's a one-to-many relationship. I want to display the latest weather update for each attraction only.
Okay. So let me read it again. I want to display the latest weather for each attraction. I think it would be easier if you could share your screen and your Xano tables.
Yeah.
Because indeed, I don't think that could be possible with add-ons. You might need to run a request before. So updating your function stack in your endpoint. But we can try to help you with this, even if it's only a Xano question. It's okay.
Yeah, I put a link to share your screen, James. Feel free to join. Giovanni has got back about his question. So it was executing workflow with JavaScript. Which method is correct?
So it's www. Let me check. Or maybe Prolet, you can share it. You had it just before.
I thought it was wwlib.execute workflow, but I don't want to.
That is deprecated, yeah. So let me check. So the correct one is this one. Let me show it to you.
Okay, cool. I will put this in the chat for you, Giovanni. And then James is with us. Hey, James.
Hey, both. You doing?
James.
Good to meet you. And thanks for your help in advance and previously as well. Appreciate it.
No worries at all.
Shall I share my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have two databases that I'm talking about: attraction and weather. Weather is updated via an API that updates once every hour. That basically pulls in the weather update for that particular location. But they're added each time, as you can see here. They've got a timestamp on them. So I'm sending over the coordinates of the location to the API. The API is calculating that and then sending this result back to us. So on the front end, I need to display the attraction with only the latest weather update. I had a kind of attempt at this, somewhat attempt at this. I binded these two tables together via the add-on. Not sure whether this is the right method, by the way, guys.
Yes.
But
Yeah, it is. It's a nice way to do it.
Okay, cool. I was concerned about it being, it was just going to add every single output, like every single row that's available to that particular weather and attraction, rather than just the latest one, because I'd rather do all the heavy lifting on the back end rather than deal with it on the front end.
So normally it should get only the linked one. So this is what those add-ons are for. So did you try this one?
No.
So this is the good approach. I mean, using add-ons for this is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you can run this and just check out if the response is really like you want. So it looks good to me. Just have the correct row linked to this, right?
Yes.
So it sounds great. So yeah, you can definitely create a collection for this, and just based on this endpoint, and then you get the list with all the details.
Yeah. So I pushed that through, and
yeah,
so
that's perfect.
My kind of. Oh, brilliant. So that's good. I'm doing it the right way. So my kind of like small other question is, how do I make sure that this data here, how can I be confident that is the latest version? Because there are many roles that are associated with this, many weather updates associated with this location. So how do I ensure that it's the latest version of that weather update?
Can you go back to where's the table?
Database.
So yes, this one. So we are saying that attraction_ID is a list and not a single one yet, right?
Yeah.
Can you click on? Oh. So I think your add-on is going to indeed returns all of them. I suppose. Yeah.
You can change sorting in the add-on. So if you click on library on the far left-hand side, and then go into add-ons,
yeah,
and then you open the weather of attraction. It's kind of the add-ons. They're kind of like the regular function stacks, but unfortunately, you can do is a query or records.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click into query or records, and then you go into the output in here, and then if you click on sorting on the just there, yeah. And so I think you're already doing it because you're sorting it by the created at date.
Okay, cool. Cool.
It looks good. Yeah, because it's type single, I guess. So it's going to return only one in the end. I was wrong.
Okay, I see. So it'll return the top one for that location only.
But just so you know, James, you could have actually. So what you didn't want to do, you could do. So at the minute you've got it return type single, so that would
Mhm.
only return one of the linked records. But
Mhm.
you could change that to a list, then it would return all of the linked records if you wanted to.
Yeah, I've got you. Yeah, and each one of them would be in their own array, I would imagine. Then, like nested.
Exactly.
Array.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Perfect. I'm going the right way. That's the main thing that matters. So yeah, all good. All good. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Oh, you're very welcome. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Cheers, James.
No worries.
Cheers.
Yes.
All
We
right.
did have a
Is
question
there anyone?
further up,
All right.
from Eagle in the chat. It was related to 1,000 separator input. So hello, we really need 1,000 separator input. Also an input with a custom symbol like a dollar, euro, etc. Yeah, he's got a lot of clients requesting it.
Really need to release this in the toolkit. Okay, right now, Eagle, do you have an access to Copilot? Because I guess right now the best thing for you would be to ask Copilot to build it for you. And yeah, I should definitely add this component into the toolkit so anyone could use it.
And then I think he followed up. We have to use an eval to sort. Sorry, I think he's just talking about James's question. So yeah, so if you don't have access to Copilot, please let us know in the chat, and we can give you access if you don't. Because right now, I think that using Copilot to generate a component is actually probably the best way to go about it for the time being.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
All right. It's great today.
It is. Has a question following up on the responsive question. Is there a good way to do global font sizes for mobile? I think it would be classes, but I don't know what you're taking.
Yes, absolutely. That's the only way to do it. Because right now you cannot specify responsive fonts, or responsive typographies. You need to create a class for this. Indeed. Yes, you can add multiple properties into a class. This is something that we do. So normally, when you code, you cannot do this, but let's say in WeWeb classes, you can. So if you basically on your text, you change the properties on mobiles and, for example, the font. Then when you create the class, you will see that you have different properties for each endpoint. It will be saved into your classes. Okay, great. James, you can reach out to me on Discord. It could be easier, so you won't share your email in the public chat.
Elena has a question. I created a style sheet in a project. How can I same style sheet in a different project? So I think by style sheet, she means a library. Would you mind clarifying that one, Elena, by the style sheet? Because I think that would dictate how best you can share it.
So no. So if this is a real CSS file, you cannot do it right now. It's not productized. This is something we want to do this year. I don't know when, but we really want to standardize the CSS and to allow you to basically add CSS file and use those classes on any elements. This is something in the pipe that is in the pipe, but right now I cannot tell you when we are going to do it. But if you really want to use CSS right now, you need to drag and drop an HTML element. This is the trick. You can paste your CSS there, and then those classes will be available for all your elements. So you can go to the settings of any element and just add the class yourself. Oh, H1, H2. Yeah, but this is real CSS, right? Yeah, simple CSS file. So yeah, right now what you can do is to create an HTML file, you paste your CSS in there, and you can save this HTML file in your library as a template, for example. And then you need to drag and drop this CSS, these HTML elements on every pages. This is the trick. You can use real CSS like this. It works, but it's not productized per se in the editor. All right. Then I guess that's it for today.
Yes. Is there no other questions? No, I think that's us. Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much, everyone. As always, we'll be the same time next week. And until then, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.